CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's To Go and by Carroll Lynx. Game On is brought to you by Aquino Financial Group and by Island Green, Westminster.
Hi there, I'm Pat Stetzer, and welcome to the Athlete of the Year episode of Game On, where it's time to reflect on the 2023-24 sports year and recognize the best of the best in Carroll County. And we'll honor one athlete above the others for their outstanding athletic performance and excellence. So let's get started. It's Game On. CMSportsNet chronicled Carroll County high school sports from mid-August to late May, with plenty of highlights and memorable moments along the way. Now it's time to recognize our choice for the 2023-24 Athlete of the Year. But before we do, let's take a moment to recognize some of the outstanding Carroll teams and athletes that shined throughout the year. Let's begin with the 2023 fall season. Westminster won the Carroll County Football Championship, the Owls' fifth in the last 7 seasons, and Winters Mill put together its best season in program history, the Falcons going 9-2 and reaching the state quarterfinals. In boys soccer, Westminster claimed its first county title since 2016, and Carroll had 2 teams in the state tournament. Liberty in the 1A state semifinals, and Century played in the 2A state championship game. In girls soccer, it was the 5th straight county title for Century, and the Knights advanced to the 2A state quarterfinals. Liberty, who tied Century during the regular season, also won a regional title, and the Lions made it to the 1A quarterfinals. Now we can look at the winter season. Manchester Valley won its first ever boys basketball county title, and the Mavericks had the Player of the Year in guard Brendan Luddy. The senior led the county in scoring and had a pair of 30-point games along the way. In girls basketball, Westminster took the county title for the first time in 4 years, led by Player of the Year Maddie Gassman. Francis Scott Key finished second in the CCAL before the Eagles went on a run all the way to the 2A state championship game. Over to wrestling now. On the co-ed side, South Carroll dominated the winter, and the Cavaliers won another 1A dual meet state title and then crowned 4 individual state champions. Girls wrestling saw Winters Mill win the team county championship, and Carroll County had 2 state finalists at the tournament. Now we hit the spring season and recap boys lacrosse. Century rebounded to win the county title, the Knights' 3rd in 4 seasons. Liberty got hot, and the Lions made a run to the 1A state championship game. In girls lacrosse, Manchester Valley won another county title, and the Mavericks ran their win streak to 36 games before falling short in the 2A state semifinals. This spring also marked the beginning of CMSportsNet's baseball coverage, where we hit the diamond and gave you a great matchup between Century and Liberty for the Carroll County Championship. The Knights led early, but the Lions rallied to win that one thanks in part to a pair of home runs from shortstop Nate Martin. Each season culminated with CMSportsNet selecting a Player of the Year from several sports. By the end of the spring, we had 9 different athletes earn such honors. And now we're going to recognize them one more time. Let's take a look. CMSportsNet selected 9 Players of the Year throughout the 2023-24 Carroll County Athletic League high school sports season. So let's recognize each of them for their outstanding accomplishments. Let's start with Football Player of the Year, Westminster's Kyrese Walker. The Owls quarterback threw for 1,277 yards and ran for 1,141, the most in Carroll County. Walker scored 16 touchdowns, also tops in the county, and led the Owls to the Carroll County Championship. Boys Soccer Player of the Year went to Manchester Valley's Grant Miller. The forward scored 15 goals and totaled 33 points, both Mavericks program records. Miller was part of a Mavs team that went 5-1 in the county and battled for the CCAL title. Century's Harley Hamlet earned Girls Soccer Player of the Year. The forward powered the Knights to another Carroll County championship with 11 goals and 5 assists, and her 27 points were 3rd best in the CCAL. The winter season saw 4 Player of the Year winners in total. Boys basketball went to Manchester Valley's Brendan Luddy, who led the Carroll County Athletic League in scoring and led the Mavericks to their first ever county championship. The guard went for 14.5 points per game and added 3 assists per game. In girls basketball, Westminster's Maddie Gassman grabbed Player of the Year honors after she filled the stat sheet in seemingly every game. The guard finished with 16.6 points, 7.9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3.8 steals for the county champion Owls. Wrestler of the Year was twofold in the winter between co-ed and girls. Co-ed Wrestler of the Year was South Carroll's JoJo Gelati. The sophomore went 51-1 with 39 pins and captured his second career 2A1A state championship. Girls Wrestler of the Year went to Winters Mill's Gabby McLeod after the junior posted a 20-1 record, won a Carroll County title, and finished as a state finalist. In the spring, CMSportsNet handed out Player of the Year honors for boys lacrosse and girls lacrosse. Boys lacrosse went to Winters Mill's Camden Deming. The senior led the Falcons with 48 goals and 63 points. His point total was second best in the Carroll County Athletic League. Man Valley's Emma Penchek earned Girls Lacrosse Player of the Year. The junior tallied 81 goals and 112 points to lead the county in scoring, and she added 130 draw controls for the Carroll County champion Mavericks. Congratulations to all the CMSportsNet Player of the Year winners from the 2023-24 season. Great stuff all around from the fall, winter, and spring. Before we announce the Athlete of the Year, let's recognize all of our CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week recipients from the 23-24 season. Football heavy in the fall, but we also recognize girls soccer and boys soccer along the way. And you see 2 football picks apiece from Westminster and Winters Mill. To the winter now, you will see the lion's share of basketball players getting the nod. County champions Man Valley and Westminster represented, and wrestling earned some recognition there too toward the end of the season. And on to the spring Athlete of the Week picks. Again, county champion lacrosse teams represented, as well as a state champ in track and field. All right, time for the big moment, the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2023-24. But before we unveil our pick, let's take a look at the 5 finalists for the award. We've got Winters Mill's Camden Deming, Century's Harley Hamlet, South Carroll's Leah Miller, Manchester Valley's Grant Miller, and Francis Scott Key's Drew Watkins. All standout athletes who excelled on the field this past year. Winters Mill's Camden Deming pitched in on the soccer field and the basketball court during his senior season, and the midfielder shined for the Falcons boys lacrosse team this spring. He led Big Mill in scoring with 63 points on 48 goals and 15 assists. Deming finished second in Carroll County in scoring and earned Boys Lacrosse Player of the Year honors. Our next finalist is Century's Harley Hamlet. The girls soccer Player of the Year scored 11 goals and tallied 27 points for the county champions last fall. In the winter, she averaged 17.2 points and led Carroll County girls basketball in scoring and was a Player of the Year finalist. And this spring, she collected 21 goals for the girls lacrosse team. Next up is South Carroll's Leah Miller. The junior played volleyball in the fall before averaging 9.4 points and 7.4 rebounds for the Cavaliers girls basketball team in the winter. In the spring, she led the Cavs to a girls lacrosse regional title with 82 goals. That was the most in the county. Miller was a girls lacrosse Player of the Year finalist. On to the next candidate, Man Valley's Grant Miller. Last fall, he set a Mavericks boys soccer program record with 15 goals and 33 points. On the hardwood, he was part of the Mavs' first ever boys basketball county crown. In the spring, he led Man Valley's boys lacrosse team to the state quarterfinals with a team-high 47 goals. He was also a boys lacrosse Player of the Year finalist. The final Athlete of the Year candidate is Drew Watkins of FSK. She earned 3 first-team All-Carroll County selections this year for field hockey, basketball, and lacrosse. She averaged 15.2 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.5 steals for the Eagles state finalist girls hoops team this past winter before being tagged as a Player of the Year finalist. And in the spring, Watkins led the Eagles girls lacrosse team in scoring with 49 points. And now it's time to make the pick. The CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2023-24 is Century's Harley Hamlet. An outstanding year for the recent Knights graduate who led her soccer team to a county title, led the county girls basketball in scoring, and helped her lacrosse team to 13 wins this spring. I'm joined now by Harley Hamlet, the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2023-24. Also with us is Century Athletic Director Ashley Hoy. Ladies, thanks for being with us today. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us, Pat.
Harley, your girls soccer career totals look like this: 37 goals, 14 assists, 88 points. Last winter, you led Carroll County girls basketball in scoring, 17 points a game, and then last 2 seasons in lacrosse, 56 goals. Those are impressive stats across the board. Do any of them stand out to you? Or any of them make you more proud when you look back at all three sports and what you did this year?
I think out of all of them, probably the one that stands out to me the most is the basketball. I mean, I was leading scorer in the county, which honestly, for all the sports, there's so many amazing athletes that when you do and you are able to make the leaderboard, I just think that's very impressive, and I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Actually, you came to Century, two seasons ago, right in the middle of Harley's career, and a lot of athletes at the school, a lot of good athletes all around the county. You and I have talked about Harley, off out of here as well. What makes her stand out as one of the best at the school and obviously one of the best in Carroll County?
Yeah, I think she's very athletically gifted to begin with, and she's a competitor. But I think what really sets, Harley above most is she's comfortable being uncomfortable, and she's comfortable being coached.
Right.
So, if a coach is telling her, Chris is telling her, to do something specific, on a set play, if Danielle's telling her to do something specific, like instead of driving, to pull up with a jump shot, Becky's telling her to do something on defense, she doesn't get rattled, and she rises to that occasion. So I think, those two things really set her above most, and it's obviously helped her throughout her career.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And with those stats we talked about, came team success. Girls soccer won 4 county titles. While you were there, the basketball team enjoyed some memorable moments as well. And of course, girls lacrosse state championship and plenty of playoff wins. But sort of like the first question, does anything stick out when I ask you about those three, your career at those 3 seasons? Was one of those stand out above the rest, from the soccer to the basketball to the lacrosse, and what the team did?
Yeah, obviously the state championships are great. Winning, being the best team in the state for that class, it's a lot of fun. But I think something else that people don't really think of that much is the littler things, like team dinners, team bus rides, all the little things too. And I think all those memories just add up for a great thing.
Yeah, you've talked about that when we've talked before too, about just how the season goes and how much you bond with your teammates, stuff like that. Seniors, Ms. Hoyt just mentioned this a little bit. Seniors get that extra responsibility of leadership attached to them when they become a senior, both on and off the field. Sometimes it goes one way, sometimes it goes another for a senior. How did you find yourself adjusting and learning to that? How do you think it went as you became a 12th grader this year and took on those responsibilities? How do you think it went?
I thought everyone respected me, which helped a lot. And then I thought I had a lot of great leaders before me to show me. So I think it's just learning from what other people did and then kind of making it into my own way.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. There's always people in front of you that you're going to learn from, and then hopefully you pass it down. In what ways did you see Harley, kind of rise up and become a leader to her teammates and the fellow Century athletes?
Yeah. So last year when I first really got to watch Harley, she was a leader in work ethic, and she was going to lead on the field in those moments on the field. But as she grew into her senior year, she really took those underclassmen under her wing, and she's really mentoring them and getting more involved. So she had people like Jane, Brewer in lacrosse and soccer, and Mia in soccer, and then basketball, controlling the huddles. But as Harley grew as a senior, she was controlling the huddles, and she was, bringing everyone together and, holding people accountable as the seasons went on. So she really grew this year and to a great leader, to help our young athletes at Century.
Yeah, that's definitely good points. Before we wrap things up, wanted to share a little video with you guys. Recently talked with 3 of your varsity coaches from Century. I actually just mentioned them, girls soccer coach Chris Little, girls basketball coach Danielle Webb, and girls lacrosse coach Becky Groves. Let's see what Harley's coaches had to say about the athlete of the year. Coach Little, what stuck out the most about Harley, what kind of player she was on the soccer field?
Yeah, on the soccer field, Harley is one of the hardest working, grittiest, just, if you had to picture that kid that got jumped in mud puddles, she was a kid who would jump in mud puddles. She was the kind of kid, when you put her on the soccer field and you ask her to go score goals or go do something and get it done, she would run through that brick wall for you and make sure that, in her best efforts, the team goals were being met.
Coach Webb, you had a girl that led the county in scoring, in basketball, but it's obviously about more than that. What about Harley stood out to you on the basketball court?
Yeah, I would just say it's her leadership and just the way she approaches the game and her teammates. She brings everybody up with her. And I think it's hard to have somebody who can perform so well on the court, by scoring, but also can then bring that intensity for their teammates as well. Because it takes a lot of energy to put the ball in the basket, and especially the way Harley does it. So then being able to then also transfer that energy into a positive way for her teammates, it's a big deal, and it really rubs off on her teammates, and they have a good role model.
I think it's her intensity level, and she's willing to do whatever it takes and whatever the team needs. And for us, she was really a lockdown defender, but she was able to score as well. And really, she just led our team with her intensity and able to get those loose balls, those draw controls, those little things that not everybody notices. And she just really was able to step up against the other team's best opponent.
Coach Webb, the intensity thing, I think that's something that all three of you have said, and I agree with it. But when did you first see it in a player like Harley that you mentioned a second ago? You can go to the basket and try to score, but it takes more than that. It takes a little bit of basketball IQ and things of that nature, and Harley has that too. She just also has that raw athleticism. Is that the one thing that it kind of becomes intensity when you put all those things together?
Yeah, I definitely think it does. And I think you could see it in Harley when she was a young kid, like even in like 7th and 8th grade, like she just had it. It was very innate. It wasn't something she had to learn, which I think as a coach, like that's the best thing you can have in a player is when it's natural and because you can't teach it. So like it just helped her bring along her game from the time she stepped on the court as a freshman to being a senior.
But no, I do think that Harley thrives on competitiveness. It's a word we haven't used with her, but there is no bigger competitor, whether she is on any one of these fields or anything she does in her personal life. I think she's a competitor, and I think that differentiates her.
No, and Harley's willing to do whatever the team needs, and that's what the team needed this year, was not necessarily her to score a million goals, but her to shut down that other team's best player or contain them so that they didn't have that 6-7 goal game where it gave our attack the ball and we're able to put it in the net.
I'll let Coach Little finish this off. A lot of memories, I'm sure all three of you coaches have them, but of Harley and Coach Little, you've been around her a long time. You get to coach her in basketball as well with Coach Webb, and of course on the soccer field. What are some of the things that stand out to you the most, if I just mention her name to you, and the memories you might have of being able to coach such a standout athlete like Harley?
The memories are, and I say this all the time, it's not a goal you scored, it's not something that you maybe did one time, but it's the consistency of bringing it every single day. She came to practice like it was a game, and she came to practice to make all of her teammates better. This was a special class. I joke about this, but this is my favorite class, and I've got a kid who graduated a couple years ago with a lot of kids that I really liked. But this class, she had to deal with friends in all her sports that were on her teams that didn't maybe always have the same level of intensity, competitiveness, drive that she did. And she managed that in a way that was so special to bring the team along. So I would say my biggest memory of her is just how she brought it every day.
Big thanks to the Century coaches for sharing their time and thoughts about Harley Hamlet, the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2023-2024. Before we do finish, though, I wanted to give Harley our certificate here that shows that she is the Athlete of the Year for 2023-24. So, Harley, congratulations on that. Yeah. Also got a gift card for you from Genova's To Go. I'm sure you'll be putting that to good use as well before you head off to conference, too. Harley, any final thoughts on your final high school sports season or what your coaches had to say about your time with them as you watch that?
I think I'm just really grateful that I did have 3 amazing coaches in all my sports. I think that's not something that happens a lot for a lot of kids, and the support and everything that they offered me and everyone at Century through teammates, coaches, my athletic director, I just think that's something I'm really grateful for, and those would be
good memories. Yeah. And Ashley, same thing. A lot of kids come and go, a lot of great athletes come and go. You've already had a good bit of them in your short time. Harley, obviously one of the top ones on your list, I think. Yeah, absolutely. She's definitely set the bar very high. I love when the young kids throughout the Century community come in and it's like, oh, that's Harley. Like, I want to be Harley. Or, their parents will come in and say, they were playing in the driveway the other day and she's taking a jump shot and saying, I'm Harley Hamlet. So that's the stuff we want in our community and to motivate the next generation to have more Harley Hamlet. Yeah, that's fantastic. Harley, Ashley, thanks again for your time. And Harley, congratulations again once more for a great senior year. And that's going to do it for our special presentation of the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year. As always, we thank you for watching. A reminder that CMSportsNet will be out and about this summer to put together some sports packages, so keep an eye on for those. And when fall sports practice begins, I know that's not something Ashley wants to talk about right now, but it's less than 2 months away. Don't worry, we've got you covered. We'll be right back out there for the fall sports. Be sure to catch all of our high school sports content online on Facebook and YouTube, as well as our website at cmsportsnet.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at CMSportsNetAction, and you can watch us on our new cable channel, HD 1072. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
What's the best gift you can give yourself? Pursue your passions. Explore your creativity. Expand your knowledge. Treat your mind and body. Give yourself a better you. With personal enrichment classes at Carroll Community College. Join us at carrollcc.edu/personal enrichment.
Welcome to Island Green, Westminster. The Pub and Grill offers a variety of food in a family-friendly atmosphere. Live music, private suites, miniature golf. Learn more at islandgreenwestminster.com. Island Green, Westminster.
Hi, I'm Steve Aquino. Creating a financial plan requires a disciplined, well-thought-out approach. At Aquino Financial Group, our mission is to provide a variety of solutions to help our clients fulfill their lifetime financial goals and dreams.